All
Boa
right.
tarde, galerinha. Tudo bem com vocês? Espero que vocês tenham gostado da mock de ontem. Hoje tem mais mock com a professora Anne-Marie. Muito bacana. Eu quero, enquanto a gente está esperando o pessoal entrar, porque eu acho que vocês estavam em aula ainda, tem alguém que quer fazer alguma pergunta, quer falar alguma coisa para a professora Anne-Marie? A gente tem aí 3 minutinhos antes da aula começar. Vocês podem abrir o microfone, pode abrir a câmera agora. E aí depois que der, daqui 3 minutos a gente começa. Tem alguém que quer falar alguma coisa?
Can you have them turn on? I want to see their faces.
Ok. Galera, vamos ligar a câmera que a professora Anne-Marie quer ver a carinha de todo mundo.
I want to see your faces.
Alright, Mariana, Camila, Lívia.
Hello.
You can open your microphone if you want, guys.
Hello. How are you?
I'm really good. I get to spend time with you. This is fun.
I like that.
Did you remember anything from yesterday?
Yeah, not everything because I haven't so much time to reward everything, but I tried and I remember kind of good part.
Good. Hello. Hello. So that's the most important thing. When you are learning something new, repeat it in 20 minutes, again in 24 hours. So here I am again to repeat it for you and to review for you. This is how you learn. Now, and this is just tidbits before everybody gets in. I know stress, right? Stress, and you know what it's like to be under stress, and you sweat a little bit, and your heart races, and you just feel like, this is stressful. You can't learn without stress. The stress of having to finish a book or study for a test makes you learn it better. Whenever your parents or your grandma or your grandpa says, no, we don't want any stress, then you're not going to learn anything. Learning is stressful. So sometimes you add the stress. You waited until the last minute to write a paper, right? And you waited all the way till it's due Tuesday, and you waited till Monday night to write it. And it's like, okay, that's your fault. But if you're worried about proofreading and mom, can you read this, and have your brother make sure all of your things are correct, that's good stress. That's like, I'm done. I just got to have somebody proofread it and then I'll print it. Ooh, it's good. That's what it's all about. So whenever you feel your heart is beating fast and whatever, that's your body saying, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do this. I got this. So it's
You ready?
I am ready. Are you guys ready to learn? All right. I actually have some stuff from questions you asked.
Sorry, Miss Froley, can I just give a very 1 second of instruction?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Pessoal, vocês já me conhecem, sou o Diego Porta, trabalho na EFIG. Galerinha, microfone fica desligado, mas, por favor, querem conversar com a professora, pode interromper, fala excuse me e puxa uma conversa. Se vocês estiverem com vergonha, digite no chat box, que daí eu faço a mesma coisa que aconteceu ontem. Eu coloco vocês numa listinha aqui, depois eu vou chamando vocês para perguntar. E vamos interagir, galera. Vocês viram que a professora Anne-Marie é bem animada. E vocês estão com uma carinha de sono que eu tô vendo aí. Vai, vamos animar também, tá bom? Obrigado e vamos lá. Ok, Miss Fraley, it's all of you.
All right. I'm going to share my screen, so I will not be seeing you, but I will see you in a little bit. And I don't know, can you see, can you see other people's pictures? Can you see my iPad?
Yes.
Yes.
They see that? Can they see all the brains right here? That's what we're doing in a little bit. All right, here we go. I'm going to present my screen, so here we go. All right. And let me do a present. Okay, so some of you asked, what's it like down by the river? And I took this picture this spring of a deer and her baby walking when I was down by the river with Jax. And I just thought it was really pretty. I thought you'd like that. So here's an outline of my little man. His name is Jax. And this is up at we have a lake home in northern Minnesota. And this is a big lake. This is not the ocean. This is a huge lake. And this is the sunset. And it's breathtaking. It's so beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it so much. And then here's the two of us on a fall day because we get the colors. So all the trees lose their leaves. And so Jax and I were walking out by the river. And then here he is yesterday. So I left you guys. I went home, I got him, and we went down to the river. And this is the little path getting down to the river. And he jumped up on a log and he looked so cute. So I thought, okay, we'll put my little man there. Take a little picture. It was about 37 degrees Celsius yesterday during class. And that's why I was sweating. It was really hot. Now I had a video here, but it's not playing, I don't think. Shoot, it's not playing. But it's this, my dog jumps in the river right away and plays with every dog. He's only this big. He's this big. And he just goes straight in the river and he plays and plays and plays. Let's see what we have next. Here's the church where I go to church. It's called the Cathedral. So this is my neighborhood. And so if you were to look way, way, way over here, way over there, that's where I am. So that's where my house is. So it's a big, beautiful church. And this is St. Paul. I didn't get a picture this morning because I was running late and I had to get to school. I know, but you know, it happens. So St. Paul is absolutely beautiful. I love it so much. But here's my question to you. What did you do healthy for your brain today? So I'm going to ask you this. You need to start every day with a huge glass of water. So not juice, not coffee, not anything other than water. Like we were talking when some of you were just coming into class, that you need to get about 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. And some of you get like 3 or 4, and then you're crabby. And you don't know why. It's because you didn't get enough sleep. So when you're sleeping, your brain cleans itself. How do you get rid of all the dirty mess that your brain produced? Drinking water. Start every morning with a huge glass of water. I promise you, yes, it's probably going to make you go to the bathroom a lot, but your brain is going to be, it's like energy for your brain. Your brain's going to be so happy. Next, exercise. Whether it's yoga or going for a walk or just meditating, sitting by yourself for 3 minutes and just thinking, okay, I feel really good. I've got a test today. I have to babysit my little brother. Whatever you need to do, thinking about it makes you just get calm and peaceful. So I know this is yoga and some of you are like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I walk my dog about 2 miles every morning. And so that's when I meditate. That's when I think about all the things I need to do. And now next, I'm not saying you have to eat salads. That's not what I'm saying. But with every single meal or snack, you need to have a protein, a carbohydrate, and a fat. Now, proteins, meat, beans, anything that's full of protein helps your brain. What? Your brain can't function on just carbohydrates, which is like rice, potatoes. If you eat a lot of chips or snack foods or crackers, those are all carbohydrates. That's not great for your brain. It's okay, but it's not great. And fat. So if you aren't familiar with these from biology, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, you need to have a little bit of each one of those. So for fat, butter, cheese. I love butter. Oh, I love butter. Butter, cheese, peanut butter, almond butter, any of the nut butters are delicious. So, all right. And then somebody had a question about Oh, and I didn't write it on here about Alzheimer's. They asked what specific part of the brain it affects. So we know it affects the hippocampus because that's memory. But people with Alzheimer's have a hard time creating words as well. Sometimes they just can't remember that one word. And they're like, oh, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And you're just so frustrated. You're like, oh, grandma, I don't know. Language, it affects that part of the brain that has language. And then we have a lot of behaviors. So I know that my mom, she doesn't, but her roommate has Alzheimer's and will wander off. They just can't remember where they belong, that this is their new home. So this is pretty cool. Oh, crud. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to show you something and I hope that this works. I hope. This movie is called, I don't know if you can see it right here, Alive Inside. And I'm not sure if it's on Netflix, but it's so good. Hold on, let me hit play here. I hope this works.
I'm a man on fire, walking through your street with one guitar and two cats in the beat. Only one desire.
Okay, watch.
Is left in me. On the whole damn world to come dance with me. Oh,
Look at how happy he is.
Who am I? I'm your daughter.
gonna set you free.
So without the music, they're stuck. This is Alzheimer's. They're stuck in their brains. They can't recognize anything. But watch what happens when she gives him music to listen to.
Right now, there are 5 million Alzheimer's patients. In the next 10 years, that number will come close to doubling.
This is solitary confinement. People just become living dead people. And this does not happen to me. No.
Everybody wants safety. Everybody wants comfort. Everybody wants certainty.
What was your favorite song?
Watch. It's so cute.
Music just hits you in a place that immediately brought you to tears. You don't understand why.
Look at her. So, and this is only the trailer. So if you search for this, and it's called Alive Inside, it's, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I strongly recommend taking a look at it, especially if you have somebody you love that is going through a struggle. It's so beautiful. All right, let's go here. Let me present. Okay. So I had asked if you well, it's taking a minute for it to present apparently. I don't know what's going on. I need to just be patient and enjoy life. I know. Breathe in.
This video was amazing, Miss Furley. It was very emotional. I start tearing here.
I'm telling you right now, if you watch the whole thing, if you don't cry, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with you. I cried so hard. Here we go.
Okay.
And that's why I play music for my mom. And she reminds me of things. Oh, when I met your dad, and they were married in 1952. So they met a long time ago. And she just, oh my God, she tells me stories that are so funny. So I asked you this yesterday. Can you live with half a brain? And some of you are like, absolutely not. These are living people with half a brain. Are they alive? Yeah, they're alive. So now, I heard that this movie was unavailable. When you tried to click on it, it said unavailable. I don't know why. I have no idea what's going on because it's unavailable for me. It's not just in other countries, it's unavailable. So I don't know. But if you, yes?
I could see the video.
You
I
did?
it every night, yes.
Okay.
Too.
It was good, wasn't it?
Amazing, amazing.
It's so good. So if you were not able to watch it, it's called Out of Control. And it's how a baby's brain grows. It's so good. Okay, I do think you got some notes. Did Diego or did somebody send you notes? Anybody? You should have some pictures. It's 2 pictures. One brain looks like this and one looks a little, it's like cut in half. No? Anybody?
I'm just looking in my mail to see if I have.
Okay.
Yes. So just a minute.
Yeah, so, galera, vocês receberam esse, junto com o link da sala de hoje, vocês receberam, tá? Então, dá uma olhada no e-mail de vocês. Quem não recebeu, avisa que daí eu vou mandar aqui pelo Zoom também, tá?
And if you don't have them, I'm not that worried about it. I just want to show you a couple of things before I cut into some brains. I know, pretty exciting.
So I think I opened the right one. I just have to know if it's the right one. Yeah.
It's a Word document. It's the only Word document that you guys has gotten so far.
So it is this one we have.
Ok, perfect. Para quem não recebeu, eu vou colocar no Zoom também, ok? I just told them I'm going to put it on the Zoom as well, Miss Froley.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to start. So you have this picture, and I'm going to go through and tell you what everything is for. If you'd like to take notes or write on it or open it in a program, or if you just want to look at the picture and understand, that's fine too. You can, all of this you can find in a book or on the internet, but I think it's pretty interesting. So this is the back of the head. So this is the occipital lobe, and that's for vision. And then the cerebellum is for balance and coordination. Now, a lot of people don't understand what this is going to look like when I show them the brains. It looks exactly like this. It's so cool. Oopsie crud. There we go. Then this top half of the brain is for motor movement. So when I think, ooh, I want to pick up this pen, it's this part of my brain right here has to tell this muscle what to do. My frontal lobe right here, this is my decision making. That's why when you have to make a decision and people say, well, where do you want to go? And you're like, I don't know, I can't think right now. Yep, that's your frontal lobe. Your parietal lobe is your emotions and hearing and language. Your medulla, which is your medulla oblongata, but we just call it medulla now, is your basic functions. So this is part of your brain stem. When we talk about brain stem, this is what brain stem means. It's your medulla, and then and which connects to your brain stem and your spinal cord. So all of this then is what's keeping you alive. It's pretty cool. I wish I had you for like 4 more days because I have so much to tell you. But this white thing in the middle, people, you're going to be so surprised when I open up the brains because it looks exactly like that. So make sure you have the picture open when I cut open the brains because it's pretty cool. So this is called the corpus callosum, and that is it's a Latin word that means connecting body. Okay, so So this is, it connects your right brain with your left brain. Your pineal gland we learned yesterday, that releases melatonin to help you sleep. What keeps your pineal gland awake? Well, this guy, your phone, that's what keeps you awake. And then this is your pituitary gland. This regulates hormones in your entire body. So if you are 15 years old and you're still 3 feet 2 inches, you didn't grow, it could be because you have a pituitary gland problem. There could be other issues, but that is one of the problems. Oh, I forgot the O. I spelled this wrong. That should be hypothalamus. That controls your shivering or your sweating. Your hippocampus, which we've talked a lot about, that is memories. Remember, when you learn stuff, the goal is to put it in here. 20 minutes and then 24 hours later, you have to review. And your amygdala is your emotions, rage, hunger, sex. It's all those strong, strong, strong emotions. All right. Are you ready? Should we dissect? All right. So I need to do a couple of adjustments here. All right. And so let me unshare. I'm going to stop sharing here.
Okay, Mahi, I'm going to help you.
Okay. Unmute.
Yeah.
All right. Are we good?
Yes.
Except for I can't see anything on my screen.
Yes, we are seeing the brains.
Okay, so this is going to be weird because on my iPad, it's blank. It's just black. So I'm going to have to, hold please. Okay. Okay, so let me see what I can do here. There we go. I'm all good now. I can put some gloves on. Oops. All right. Okay. So now, this is from a sheep, that kind of sheep. All right. So their brains are smaller because they're smaller animals. Okay. So I got to turn up some lights here. There we go. All right. And get my little light here. All right. We are good. So a couple of things that we're going to do. And so I got to kind of tilt my head here because I've got a whole lot going on. All right. So when you look at the brain, this, I'm going to move all my tools. This is so cool. There's 2 of them. These are the backs of your eyeballs. So everybody look left and right, look right, look left, and this is the backs of your eyeballs. Okay, this right here is bone. Wait a minute. How can it be bone? So everybody shake your head back and forth really fast. Your brain doesn't move because look, it's attached to the bone. How cool is that? Because otherwise when you sleep, your brain would it'd go right to the side. Or if you go swimming underwater, your brain would go, okay. It doesn't do that. Okay. So now I'm gonna turn it over, all right? Right here is the spinal cord. Okay, so this is the spinal cord. And then this is the medulla. We just talked about that, the medulla oblongata. All right. Now, can you see that there is a covering that goes all the way around? Okay, this is a Latin word. Oopsie, hold on. I gotta get my, let me try this one. Let me see. Oh, right here. This is a Latin word. It's a tissue, and it's the Latin word is dura mater, which means tough mother, like durable, like dura, and then mater means mother. So this is what holds all the fluid around your brain. It's waterproof. How cool is that? Your brain has all this liquid and water and all that good stuff around it. I know. You're perfect. Look at how cool that is. You are perfect. Amazing. All right. So I'm going to go through, and are you ready? I don't know if you can hear what I'm doing here, and I don't think you'll be able to hear it, but it's fabulous. It's gross. I'll be really honest. It's a little gross. Okay, so ready? I'm going to cut it in half. All right. All right. And when I open it up, it looks like, well, not like the picture because that's a human brain, but it has all of the things we looked at in the picture. Okay. So now this dura mater, look at how thick that is. It's so thick because it's like having a plastic bag around your brain. That's how cool it is. All right. Now, do you know what a hard-boiled egg is? Do you have hard-boiled eggs? Or like egg white when you cook eggs, the white around the egg? Okay, that's what this feels like.
Awesome.
Yeah. Most people say, oh, that's gross. I'm like, yeah, I know. All right. So now let's get down to it. Oops, let's do this side. This one's better. All right. So let's talk about some good stuff we have going on here. Okay. So I'm going to take it out of the dura mater. Why? Because I want to get rid of the eyeball. What? I know. So watch what happens. Look at how it peels off. Isn't that cool? All right. So here we go. Look at that brain. It's a beauty. All right. So, uh-oh. I accidentally peeled off his pituitary gland. Whoopsie. The pituitary gland is right here. It's this gland right here. And remember, your pituitary is your master gland. It makes all the hormones for your body. Okay? And then right back here, oopsie. Can you see this little round thing right here? That little guy right there? That's his pineal gland. This is what makes melatonin for him to go to sleep. That's pretty cool. Okay. So now, let me see if I can get in here. This part right here, it's in your notes, and we just talked about it. This is called the cerebellum. And it's really big in sheep. Why is it so big? Because sheep, all they do all day is walk and climb mountains and walk and then eat and then walk and then eat and then maybe run and then walk. So they need balance. Okay. So now this is really cool. All right. So this white wave thing right here. Let me see if I can get it right here. This white wave thing right there. That is the corpus callosum. And that is how it connects I had to cut through that because it's in both halves of the brain. That's what connects the right brain and the left brain. It's pretty cool. All right. So now, let's see if I can do this. I don't know, we'll see. Can you see all of the grooves, how it goes up and down and around? These are all, this is all separate parts of the brain. Okay, so if I pull it apart a little bit, you can see that the brain, sorry, I missed the camera there, that the brain has all of these little grooves in it. So yesterday I took the foam and then I rolled it up. That's how it gets in your brain. You all have these bumps and grooves in your brain. So it's really rough feeling. It's really, really rough. Okay, this thing right here, can you see this black line or this dark line right there? Let's see if I can find a better spot. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can.
Yep, that is a nerve. That is one nerve. So I'm going to try to pull it up. See if I can get it. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's one nerve. Okay. Ooh, I'm doing a really good job of pulling on that. All right. So as we get going here, oh, I broke it. But that is one nerve. Now, remember, your brain has about, I don't know, about 10 million of these that are really functioning. So it's a really good thing. Okay. So now, okay. So this is going to be weird. Okay. I'm going to pull off the brainstem because I'm going to get down to the hippocampus, which is how they remember things. Okay, so I'm pulling it off. Ooh, yep, it's a good one. Okay, so now, oh yeah, it's beautiful. Let me see if I can get in there. Okay, so now, right here, going all the way around in this C, it makes like a big C. Okay, oh, look at that nerve. Look at that. That's a nerve. Pretty cool. Oh my goodness, look at all the nerves that I'm pulling right there. Well, it's been preserved, meaning that this is from sheep that they have killed for whatever purpose, but they saved the brains and then they preserve them in a solution so that they don't get yucky, so that they don't rot. Oh, crud. Look at that. You can see the nerves right there.
They are a little bit lighter, the one that you showed before. There is a reason why is that?
What do you mean?
The color of this nerve, it's a little bit whiter than the other one.
It's because, I mean, honestly, it's the amount of fat on it.
Ooh.
So when we talk about, like, I'm never going to eat fat, you have to, your brain is mostly fat. It's 60% fat. So all of those good fats help your brain develop better. So you need to eat fats. All right.
Thank you.
So now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pull out his hippocampus. Maybe. Okay, let me get in here with something better. Oh yeah, right there. Oops.
Sorry, Miss Rowley. And Anna, she's asking, this is an old brain or is a fresh one?
No, and I said that these are preserved. They're from animals that were slaughtered, and then they preserve them in a solution. Oh yeah. Here's his hippocampus. So it makes a big C inside the brain. And then this part right here, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can. I can't get in there. Okay. This little part right here at the end is the amygdala. That is his emotion for a sheep. Sheep don't have a lot of emotions. They're not doing a lot of talking and, hey, you want to head down to the pasture? Yeah, let's go. Okay, sheep aren't doing a lot of talking, okay? But, so this is, that is where the hippocampus. So all animals have a hippocampus, and you know that. Your dog has a hippocampus. They know my dog knows where I keep the treats. When I go to that door, he thinks, I'm getting a treat. Yes, I am. Or he knows when I open the refrigerator, food is coming out. So he runs in. He gets so excited. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to this brain right here. Okay, so this white right here, that's all fat. The darker parts are cell bodies. So all of the white part is fat. So like when you plug in your phone on the wire, you plug it in. Do you get electrocuted? No, because there's a layer of plastic around it. So like I have a wire right here. I have a wire and it's got plastic all the way around it. So I'm not going to get electrocuted. So we need fat to keep our cells nice and communicating really well so that they can send the signals. Now this is really cool. Okay, ready? This is gonna be weird, but can you see this opening right here? Can you see that opening? That is called a ventricle. But wait, I thought ventricles were in my heart. Well, yes, ventricle just means opening. So your brain, so when you shake your head back and forth really fast, you can't feel it, but you've got fluid in here. And that fluid cushions your brain. So if you hit your head really hard against a surface, hopefully you don't do any damage, but that fluid keeps your brain, keeps it working well. So now, when I told you to have a large glass of water for breakfast in the morning, we need to clean out all that fluid, because at night while you're sleeping, that's when all the waste goes into the fluid, and you need to supply more water so that you can get rid of the waste. So now, I don't know, but have you ever had a headache? You have a headache? Here's what happens with headache. A lot of times, so what should happen is you should drink plenty of water every day. If you don't, this dura mater then sits too close to your brain and it just sits there and it hurts. So your mom says, go have a glass of water. And gosh, you actually do feel better. How does that happen? Because the more water you have, the looser and easier this fits on here. Oh, so water is important. It's really important. Okay, so now, if you look here, okay, so we know, oopsie, I'm trying to change this here. So this is the medulla. This is what controls all of the sheep's basic functions, heartbeat, blood pressure, all that stuff. Can you see that there's an opening here? It goes all the way down the spinal cord. I didn't do that. Your spinal cord has a hole in the center. It does? Yes. It has to have a hole because now that fluid from here drains down your spinal cord. Okay, I'm seeing from Carolina, what's the difference between, and I can't see the whole thing, between, let me see if I can click on my chat here. What's the difference between migraine and
usual headache?
Okay, that's a really good question. Migraine generally has to do with nerves. So what happens is sometimes the nerves, especially in the back of the brain, like it will, the migraine headache kind of comes up from the back of your brain and moves forward. Hold on, I gotta get rid of this. Hold please. And what they need to do is, if you take medications for a migraine, migraines affect a lot. I don't want to say all, but at least when I've had a migraine, it hurts my eyes. Everything is too bright, and it's just too much, because what happens is it comes, the pain comes like from the back of your skull and works its way this way. Well, this is the occipital lobe. That's where my vision is. So that's why it hurts your vision. Oh, some people it's sound. So if I take a whole brain here, so as it comes up, when you're getting a migraine, so it usually travels from the back of your head and it affects vision right here. And then if it moves this way, it affects sound. So a lot of people, the sound is too much and they gotta just be in a quiet room, completely dark. Now, regular headache generally could be stress. So when you tense your muscles, like everybody lift your shoulders up as high as you can. Lift your shoulders up, lift them up, lift them up, lift them up. And guess what? When you hold that for too long, your neck hurts. When your neck hurts, then your brain hurts. So if you can stretch, a lot of times it helps a headache, but for the most part, it's water. You need lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of water. Okay, other questions? I like it. Keep them coming.
Teacher, I'm sorry, my internet's really slow and like correct. So migraine is like related to nerves and
I can't say that 100% sure because they're finding there's all kinds of ways and things that cause migraines. Sometimes it's food that causes migraines in people. A lot of times it's chocolate causes migraines. I would hate that because I love chocolate. And for other people, it's sounds and sights or motion. Like if they're on a plane, they get a migraine. And so they don't know the exact cause, but they know that it is related to your nerves. Whereas a regular headache, there's 4 kinds of major headaches. And that's a whole nother lesson. But the major headaches, generally speaking, if it's just a regular, I'm a teenager and I have a headache, it's generally water. It's generally you are either too hot or you need water.
okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, anybody else? Are we good? Okay. So now, okay. So now I pulled out the hippocampus and I could do it on this side too. I just want to see something quick. Okay. I know that was gross. I'm just picking it apart like it's nothing, but you know. Okay. So, oopsie, and I missed it. It's right here. What they found, okay, you guys know where New York City is, right? Yeah. Okay. So here's the hippocampus. And what's really cool is if I wanted to get around any city, I can use my maps on my phone. That's what I would use. I would just pull it up and say, how do I get to whatever, Rockefeller Center? Great. But 30 years ago, cab drivers, so taxi drivers, didn't have a phone to look at. They had to know where everything was. And what happened was they found that taxi drivers in New York City had larger hippocampuses than other people because they had stored so many memories in their brains. How cool is that? So you can change your brain. Well, did Albert Einstein have a larger brain? Sort of, kind of, yes. He had a bigger parietal lobe, so he stored memories in a different area than we do. I think my brain's just average. I don't think it's special. I think I'm just average. But Albert Einstein stored his memories a little bit differently. So things I want you to take away, and I went through that really fast. I'm sorry, but it went really fast. Things I want you to take away is your eyeballs are directly attached to your brain. So when people say, name the 3 parts of your nervous system, it's your brain, your eyeballs, and your spinal cord. So don't let them trick you. Next, your brain is attached to bone. Okay, so now yesterday when we were taking notes or talking about notes, I said that humans, our smell goes straight into our brains. It's the quickest way into our brains. I know this is a sheep. This bone right here on us is further down here. This is way forward. So their little noses would be way out here. So a sheep's nose would be way out here. So that smell has to go all the way up to get in right here. So all these little grooves right here have nerves for smell. They're called olfactory nerves. And that's where the smell is interpreted right there. I mean, how cool is that? We have a special bone developed to help you smell better. How amazing are we? Like, our bodies are so perfect. So perfect. So it's pretty fun. So, and then your eyes, when you get a brain tumor, so here's this, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. This little bump right here, that's his pituitary. So remember, take your tongue as far back as you can in your mouth. That's where your pituitary is. Same in a sheep, right in the back of his mouth, okay? So is it between where his eyes go in? Kinda, all right? Now, another cool thing about your eyes that I'm just gonna point out because I have a little bit of time. I'm gonna point out, you have fat around your eyes. Nuh-uh, I do not have fat. You have to have fat. Otherwise, every time you fell off your bike that one time, you're not gonna lose an eye because your eye didn't bounce around in the socket. You've got all this beautiful fat going all the way around. You're perfect. You are so perfect. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, questions about this? Otherwise, I'm gonna kind of finish up with this and I'm gonna move on to something else.
Teacher, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
It's about the migraine again. Like
Okay.
when someone takes a medicine to stop the migraine, how does this medicine works?
A lot of times they are called nerve blockers. So remember yesterday where we had like nerves kind of hooked together and then they touched? I'm trying to see, like they would touch. What would happen then with the nerve blocker? It like takes away one of the nerves so it can't transmit the pain signal anymore. So that's what it should do. The migraines, depending upon what kind of migraine it is, it doesn't always work that way.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Teacher.
Oh, go ahead.
Can a migraine affect another organ without the brain? Without being the brain?
Well, that's a great question. If it's a true migraine, it does affect the nerves in the brain. Now, could you then start breathing fast? Yes, but remember what makes your brain breathe fast? Your hypothalamus, which is right in here in your brain. So that affects your brain. Can it make your heart beat fast? Absolutely, because that affects your medulla oblongata right here in the brain. So your brain is still in control a lot of the organs and such. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes.
Okay.
Thank
Anybody?
you.
Okay, I'm going to transition back. So give me 30 seconds to go back to my regular computer and put this away, because guess what? It really stinks. It really stinks. And when I say really stinks, everybody in my hallway knows this is what I'm doing. They're like, oh my God, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, shut up. So I'll be right back.
Miss Raleigh, can I turn off your camera from your iPad?
Yes. All right. Okay, let us get back in here. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Mute. All right.
Yeah, it's gone.
Share my screen. Woo! Now I'm hot and sweaty. All right, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, no, maybe?
Yep.
Okay, I think you can hear me. All right, so if you weren't paying attention, which, hey, I get it. It's almost 4 o'clock your time. Hold on. Houston, we have a problem here. Uh-oh, wait. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing for a minute because my computer's not being a very good computer. So we're going to have to try again here. All right. And I'll just sing and dance while we wait for my computer to be nice.
So while we wait for Miss Raleigh computer.
Wait for my computer.
Miss Raleigh, can you hear us?
All right.
Miss Raleigh?
Goodness, I don't know what's going on here. It's really taking its sweet time.
Miss Raleigh?
All right. Hold, please. All right. Okay.
Teacher, can you hear us?
Yep.
Teacher?
All right. Oh, for goodness sakes. Come on. All right. Now let's try again. Share screen. All right. Let me see if I can present. Yep. There we go. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So just to repeat. Okay. Hold on here. This is the bottom part of your brain. Remember, oh, let me go here. When I told you to do repetitive things for anxiety, the reason I want you to do that is because the back of your brain right here, the cerebellum, is for motion and balance. So when you're doing something that deals with repetitive motion and balance, like bicycle, like walking, yoga, tennis, for me, it's knitting. All of those things require this part of my brain. The rest of my brain then just gets to go, oh, yes. Oh, I get to relax. So remember, that's a good thing. We like letting our brain relax. That doesn't mean you want it to turn off. It just means you want it to relax. So when you're using this, the rest of your brain gets to relax a little bit. It's good. All right. So now, this brain looks a little bit different. These brains were a little gray. This wasn't as white as I expected it to be for the corpus callosum, but it's pretty cool. All right. The pineal gland, remember, that's what helps you sleep. It releases melatonin. Why do I keep bringing it up? Because you will continue to keep using your phones at night. I know, it's just not very good. All right, remember, your hippocampus is, we talked about the taxi drivers in New York. So the hippocampus is what's really large in those taxi drivers. And it matures really slowly. That's why I need you to stop right now and think. Can you remember your 1 year old birthday when you turned 1? And the answer is usually no, because your hippocampus hasn't developed yet. So, okay. And then it matures slowly and you can't generate memories without it. But remember, you keep developing this. This part of the brain is what keeps developing. And this is why you still go visit your aunts and uncles, or aunts and uncles. This is why you go visit grandma, because your grandmother's hippocampus is still growing and working. All right. Now remember, your amygdala, which is at the end of your hippocampus right here, your amygdala is your emotions. And you are teenagers and you are all about emotions right now. You love something or you hate something, or you're really angry or you're really happy. As you get older, you learn to control those things, and that's your frontal cortex. I got a little tickle in my throat. There we go. All right. Oopsie. I have no idea where this is going. Oh, it's a video. So once again, this is just all, and this is what I did. So if you missed the removal of the hippocampus, it is in the video for you. And the hippocampus, it means seahorse, because this is the hippocampus. When I removed it, I only got like half of it, but it looks just like a seahorse. That's why they named it hippocampus. How cool is that? I know. All right. Ready? Are you ready for the next picture?
Marie.
What happens when you see somebody yawn? Anybody? What happens when you see somebody yawn? Oh, if you see somebody yawn, guess what you do? Yawn. And you're like,
guys,
oh my gosh.
Everyone, open your camera and let's do a sign to right? Miss Froley.
If you stand in a, are you waving? What happened? Hold please, hold on, hold.
Can you hear us? Sorry, Miss Farley, can you hear us now? Can you hear? Hello?
All right.
Miss Farley?
Okay.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Miss Farley?
Now I can hear you. Okay, my iPad was...
We are trying here to make you look at us and say, you're not hearing us.
Right, okay. You know why? Because I had you closed down. I didn't have your pictures up. But I love looking at you. I'm sorry. Okay. Hold on, I'm trying to close out all my iPad stuff and get rid of my iPad. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
You're so cute. I can't even stand it. And I got hands waving in the air and I'm like, what? Okay. You're so cute. I wish I could come down and teach you guys. I would love it. All right. So now, if I need you to do this tonight, ready? I need you, when you're with people, friends or whatever, I want you, when you're standing there, put your hands on your hips. Yep. And just do that. Just put your hands on your hips. Because you know what everybody's going to do? Put their hands on their hips. If you fold your arms in front, guess what everybody does? Folds their arms in front. Because it's what your brain does to fit in. How cool is that? Okay. So now if you've done this, I know I have, especially, don't tell anybody, at church. You know, when you're at church or something, and then somebody says something really funny and you start to giggle, and then you can't stop. And then your friend starts to giggle, and then your mom starts to giggle, and then your sister, and then you're all laughing and you're giggling. Why? It's because of mirror neurons. You are always your brain is trying to match what other people are doing. Okay? So now, if you've ever been to a game, whether it's soccer, I know in the United States we call it soccer, you'll live. Okay, soccer or football or baseball or whatever game you're going to, and when everybody stands and cheers, what do? Yeah, you stand and cheer. Why? Because your mirror neurons want to fit in. Your mirror neurons are like, oh, damn. Oh my gosh, I got to do this. How cool is that? So now I need to take you somewhere. Think about the saddest movie you've ever seen. Or for me, there's commercials. Like we have a TV station, which I don't know if you have because I don't know, but it's Hallmark movies and they're all really sad and they're all just so sad. And I love them. Why? If they're sad, I don't know. I don't know. And so when the people on TV are crying, what am I doing? Sobbing. I am, I got to get the Kleenex. Okay. Because my mirror neurons are so active. Now, if a student in my room is telling me a story and it's sad, like one of my students has brain cancer right now. And we were talking about her treatment, her chemotherapy. And just, I put myself in that position and I just started to cry. So I'm crying and then everybody in the room is crying and I'm getting out the Kleenex and I'm dabbing and she's crying. And next thing you know, what the heck? What are we doing? Why are we all crying? Because she was telling me a story. And so your mirror neurons, especially as teenagers, your mirror neurons work really well. And I know my students, I share so much with them and they get going, get into it as well. So your mirror neurons are always looking at other people. Now I need you to think, so how did you learn how to button your shirt? How did you learn to do that? You watched your mom, your dad, your grandma, mirror neurons. How did you learn to brush your hair? You watched your mom, mirror neurons. So now there are things you try and you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know. Let's try it. I don't know. That's learning. So mirror neurons are when you're imitating something, but when you're learning something, like maybe you're learning pottery. Like I don't have any family that does pottery, you know, with clay and make pots and pretty things. I would have to teach myself how to do that. And that's okay. Now, I mean, if I don't know how to do something, the first thing I do, I go to the internet and search and I'm like, ooh, that's cool. And I watch what they do and then I do it. My mirror neurons want it to look just like that. So you didn't know it, but you've been using your mirror neurons your entire life. So now, next time you're babysitting your neighbor, your little sister, your sister's baby, and you do something really dumb. And you're like, whoopsie, oops, okay, that was dumb. That was so stupid. And then let's say the baby's 2. And you think to yourself, oh, she's little. She's not even gonna remember that. And then when the little kid does it and the mom says, where did she learn that? And you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea where she learned that. And deep inside, you got to think, that was me. Oops. Or if you swear and then the little kid repeats you, you know it. You say words you're not supposed to. And if a little kid repeats it, you're like, okay, that wasn't great. Okay. So mirror neurons are almost like reading somebody's mind. So you got to keep that in mind. It's when you are doing things, and I try to help with this, especially with my students, to show them how I want things done so that they do the same as well. I don't just tell them, I show them how I want things to be done. So I know I'm finishing early and I feel really bad about that, but this video that I have for you, it's in Edpuzzle, and I know it works because I tested it with Diego. I have tested it. It works. It's very, very good. And it shows a little girl learning to tie her shoes. And it shows how you learned to tie your shoes. It's really good. And that's what I have for homework for you. I'm sorry that I'm finishing so early. I'm sure you're happy with that. But we didn't take as long on the dissection as I sometimes do. I don't know why. I don't know why. So there's that. Do you have any questions for me or anything you want me to do tonight for you so that for me to show you tomorrow?
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, so teacher, is it true that during the years our memories change? Like you remember a party, a party from your cousin a long time ago. Like this memory can change along the years.
Well, it changes. There's 2 things that happen. One, when people talk about the party, it changes your memory of it. Because you might remember you had on a blue dress and a hat and you had on pretty shoes, you know, that kind of thing. But then your grandma says, oh, you kids played outside for hours. And you wouldn't wear a dress to play outside. So that changes your memory then. That's going to change and you're like, that seems really weird. But I wouldn't wear a dress to go playing in the water. Like I wouldn't do that. So maybe grandma didn't remember it right. You might be remembering it right, but now it's going to change your memory. I have a very, very, very distinct memory. And I know this is how it happened, but my family says it's not. When I was four, I was really little. So this is 50 years ago. This is a long time ago. My parents told me that I was adopted. So I was in an orphanage and then I was adopted. I didn't know what that meant. I thought they said I was a doctor. And so I went around the neighborhood with a little doctor bag, and I'd ring people's doorbell and I would say, I'm here, I'm a doctor. And I remember it. I still have the little bag. And my brother says, you never did that. And I'm like, I know I did. I remember it. I remember ringing the doorbells. I remember sitting in a little chair, putting bandages on somebody's hands. I don't know why, but my neighborhood was hilarious. They let me do whatever. But I distinctly remember that. I remember being thrown off a horse when I was about 6, and I landed on a barbed wire fence, and I had cuts all across my stomach. And my brother keeps telling me that's not what happened. And I said, I have the scars on me. I know that's what happened. He says, no, that's not what happened. I'm thinking, I remember that. So your memories can change based on what people tell you, and your memories fade. When my dad died, I have so many emotions attached to when my dad died, my father. And they're beautiful emotions. I don't ever want to lose them, but it's fading. It's not as nearly, like usually by now I'd be crying. I'd be totally crying because it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And I'd be totally crying, but it fades. Kind of like, ladies, guess what you're going to do someday? You're probably going to have a baby. All right. And you saw it's a big head. And it's painful, ladies. It's painful. But here's what happens. You have the baby. And then like a year later, you're like, it wasn't that bad. I can do it again. And then about 2 years after that, you're like, oh, let's do another one. Let's have 3, let's have 5 babies. So even though it hurts so bad, your memory fades and you think, and then you're like, I'm not having any more kids. This is too painful. And then a couple years later, you think, we could do another baby. Let's do this. So memories, they fade. Now, if they're trauma memories, like really bad memories, you need to help them sometimes fade. Like if it's a really bad memory of something, you might need to go talk with somebody to help that memory fade. That's a good question.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Olivia. Has anyone got any question? Or as Ms. Froley said, do you guys want for her to take a picture or to take to bring some, I don't know, some curiosity from Minnesota or something like that?
Anything?
Sorry.
I don't have a specific.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so, okay, go Anna. Anna, go first, and then Camila, you come, okay? Anna?
Hi, so sorry. No, I understand now. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Camila?
So I was just saying that I am kind of without vertebrae right now. So I'm sorry, I don't have an idea what can I ask you to.
That's okay.
That's okay.
You're not worried about it, but it's just such a pleasure to teach and see you. I love seeing your faces because I haven't been in front of students in so long and I miss it so much. Oh, I miss it so much. I love teaching a lot. Do you have any questions for me?
I do. I don't know if anyone already asked that, but why did you choose to be a teacher?
Wow, amazing.
That is a great question. And here is the honest answer. When I went to college, I wanted to be a doctor, literally a doctor. Now, not when I was 4, I really wanted to be a medical doctor. And when I took organic chemistry, which is a very difficult chemistry, I didn't do very well. And my college advisor, the person, my counselor told me I probably wasn't smart enough to be a doctor. And I was, what? I'm not smart enough? What? And he said, you should be a teacher. And I said, but I don't want to be a teacher. I want to be a doctor. And he said, you'll never make it as a doctor. I cried and I cried and I cried. I was crushed. Guess what? He was right. He was right. I wouldn't have been a good doctor. I wouldn't have been. I don't do well with sick people. I'm like, you got snot. I don't want to deal with you. I'm really a good teacher and I love it. I love it. So I didn't find it, it found me. So I got a degree in biology and I teach anatomy because it's the closest thing to being a doctor without being a doctor. That's a good question.
Thank you for your answer.
Absolutely.
I have a question. It's not a question. I just wanted to tell that I am like so happy because I am enjoying so much the video of the babies, everything you like with the brain. I love it so much. Thank you so much.
Good. Is this something you want to do? Are you thinking about something like this for college or?
I can't be a doctor because like I can like for example deal with a brain. I could never. But I think it's so interesting like to learn and to see about it, and I might consider it after this actually. Because I love it so much.
You don't have, I mean, you could be a psychiatrist where you help people with problems and that deals with their brain, you know, so that you can help people manage things going on in their brain. So you're still using the information, but you're not cutting stuff up. I mean, that would be good too.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I will consider. I love it so much. Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, you know what? Tomorrow is super fun.
Yeah, tomorrow is gonna be very, very fun, guys. Miss Froley, sorry, tomorrow they're gonna use Kahoots as well, again, right?
Yes.
Okay, everyone, Kahoots again, please put in your phone, leave everything ready because tomorrow is gonna be very fun. Just gonna ask one question for Camila, Mariah, and Livia, because you guys are with the camera on. Camila, which school are you from?
I'm from Progresso Itaquaral.
Progresso Itaquaral. Mariah?
Escola comunitária.
Okay. Livia?
I'm on Camila's class.
Sorry?
I'm on Camila's class, so I study at the same school as her.
Oh, okay. Amazing. You're classmates. That's great. Sorry, Miss Froley, do you want to say anything else for them?
No, I am just so pleased you're asking such good questions. You should come to school and see. You should come to my school. You should come visit me.
So tomorrow, guys, if you want to become Miss Froley students, tomorrow we're going to talk about the school at the end of the class, because first is fun with class, and then after we're going to talk about it. So yeah, so you can see how you guys can enroll in at the Miss Froley schools.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Okay, awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us today. It was amazing. Thank you, Miss Froley. You made me cry.
Oh, watch that movie. Look up that movie, Alive Inside.
Okay, I will.
Oh, you will cry. You will cry.
I bet.
So good.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all the presents. See you tomorrow, guys, 3 p.m. Okay, your homework and the presentation you guys gonna get after this class. So have a look at your email and don't miss tomorrow. Bye bye.